NBC says about Matt Gaetz, people are absolutely horrified. That's not an exaggeration. Let's see. We have Senator Marquayne Mullen on Matt Gaetz saying, I completely trust President Trump's decision on making this one. And then you have former Congressman and current Fox host Trey Gowdy saying, the more you get to know Matt Gaetz, the less you like him. But that's the guy that's going to run the DOJ if President Trump gets his way and gets him confirmed. Will that happen? Joining us now is somebody who knows him pretty darn well, sharing committees with him, sharing Congress with him. Let's welcome Ohio Congressman and Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, to the Dennis Prager Show. Congressman, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Bob. Good to be with you.
Yes, sir. So Matt Gaetz, you have worked with him for a while now.
Yeah.
You know him very, very closely. Did you know this was coming, and what was your reaction when you found out that he was going to be the president's choice for AG?
Did not know it was coming. I don't think anybody did. And Matt Gaetz is one of the most talented guys we've ever seen on Judiciary Committee. I mean, you've seen him. His ability to cross-examine witnesses is one of the best I've seen in my time in Congress. And I like Senator Marquayne Mullen. I have full confidence in President Trump. I think he's making a number of great selections that are going to help implement the agenda the American people elected us to do. So here's what I know about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, if he's the guy running the Justice Department, he's not going to have the DOJ investigating moms and dads showing up at school board meetings. He's not going to have an FBI which issues a memorandum saying if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist. And maybe if he's running the DOJ or someone like Matt's running the DOJ, we might find out who actually planted the pipe bombs on January 6th, who leaked the Dobbs draft opinion, and who put cocaine at the White House, for goodness sake. So, but the call now is going to be up to the United States Senate. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, and I would think every conservative Republican who voted for Donald Trump wants those things, wants the answers to those questions, and if Matt Gaetz can get them, we'd be happy about that. And you would think that the obstructionists would be the Democrats who don't want you to know the answer to all of those things because it's not good for them politically. But it's Republicans who are joining with Democrats to condemn this pick and saying he's not going to get through. And many of them saying they don't want him to get through. There were Republicans in the Senate who have already said I'm a no vote before they hear one question and answer in a confirmation hearing. What do you make of this Republican turn against him?
Well, I guess I go back to what happened a week ago Tuesday. I think the American people elected in Donald Trump in this landslide, electoral college landslide, won 30 states, won the 7 swing states, all 7 of them, won the popular vote. I mean, I think there was an attitude that they wanted in office, and the attitude was, let's make the change that is needed to make America great again. That's what they voted for, and it seems to me you want someone in every one of these agencies who has that attitude about changing the way the agencies operate and reminding those agencies and the people in the federal in the executive branch that they work for we the people. They're not supposed to come after we the people. So I want folks in charge of the respective departments with that kind of attitude, and that I think is the kind of person President Trump is picking up, including Matt Gaetz, up and down the line. Whether it's Pete Hegseth, whether it's Marco Rubio at State, you name it. Whether it's Elise Stefanik at the UN, he wants people who are going to bring the attitude the American people elected to have in place a week ago Tuesday.
Yeah, and the American people said they want that. That is exactly why it was such an overwhelming landslide victory, and it's exactly why, even a popular vote victory. So I was rewatching last night as I was preparing for today's broadcast. I was rewatching the video of the $85 billion Taliban parade, which was really, really interesting. And then I also saw some video of the cargo jet taking off from Bagram Air Force Base with a bunch of people clinging desperately to the landing gear because they didn't want to fall into the waiting hands of the Taliban. And I thought to myself, that's really interesting because the people who made that happen are the people who are now saying Pete Hegseth is the wrong choice for defense secretary. Somebody's going to have to make some sense of that to me.
No, great point. And I think we've talked before, Bob, that image of that plane taking off with people literally jumping on the wheels, jumping on the outside, trying to, I think is a metaphor for just how bad the Biden-Harris administration was, and how pathetic they were. I always say, I got asked by a reporter several months back, is there anything good you can say about the Biden-Harris administration? And I actually gave it some thought. I gave it some time. And I go like, no, I can't, because I don't know one thing they've done well. So, but that probably captures it all in one visual, just how bad it is. And yeah, we need someone running the Department of Defense who says, enough of the woke stuff. Let's focus on the mission. Let's focus on the men and women who risk their lives, who put on that uniform, who are defending our country. Let's make sure they're ready to fight and defend this great nation and carry out our foreign policy, carry out the things that need to be done. We need that attitude, and I think that's the attitude Pete Hegseth is going to bring.
I agree, and it is all about that. And his 20 years of combat experience and his 2 Ivy League degrees ought to carry more weight than he's a Fox News weekend host, which is what they're trying to brand him as in order to discredit him. I've only got time for probably one more, maybe 2. Tom Homan, going to work with Kristi Noem, Department of Homeland Security. He's going to start immediately. Congressman, there's been this little gubernatorial coalition, left-wing governor coalition that they're forming, starting with Polis in Colorado and Pritzker in Illinois. They're going to kind of combine to essentially Trump-proof their states. Anything that Homan tries to do to come in and get illegal aliens and start this mass deportation, they're going to resist. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you could. I think it's wrong, but I think you could use the court system, just like the Democrats did. Remember when Texas, when Governor Abbott and Attorney General Paxton there in Texas said, we're going to secure our border after all, we're right on the border. We're going to secure it. And the Biden administration took him to court and said, no, you can't do that. It's a federal responsibility. Well, now it's flipped. Well, for goodness sake, I think if we got to go to court, we go to court. But I think it just shows, again, how out of touch the left is with we the people. The American people spoke loud and clear, and border security was right at the top of the issues. Every polling, all the data shows that was one of the key issues. So they're going to take this attitude. I think it just kind of demonstrates they haven't learned a darn thing from the shellacking they took a week ago.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, because if they haven't learned anything from it, they're going to continue to repeat their mistakes, and we're going to continue to win elections and do good things for the American people. I've got less than a minute, though. Government bloat, government bureaucracy. Now it's in the crosshairs of Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy with the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. How quickly do you think they can take a bite out of the size of this government?
Well, these are 2 sharp guys. You know, Vivek, of course, is from our great state. Elon's amazing individual, both amazing guys. I think they're going to put together do their work, put together this report. I assume it'll be some kind of report. Here's what makes sense. Here's what's good common sense. Okay, now Congress, do your job. Let's get rid of some of the ridiculous rules, regulations, inefficient activities of the government.
2 great hires, a collective IQ of 10,000 between those 2 guys. Congressman Jordan, thank you, sir. We appreciate you very much.
You bet.
For the full episode of The Dennis Prager Show, go to pragertopia.com, sign up, and become a full member.